Most of you guys know I like weapon mounted lights, but I know a lot of you guys out there don't feel comfortable mounting a light to your weapon for whatever reason. And also a lot of you guys just like to carry a flashlight as like an everyday carry type of item. Well, on deck for review today we have the Inforce 6VX light, and a lot of guys I know like to carry this as a defensive light, so it's definitely bright enough with the 200 lumens. We'll get to it more at night coming up next. With 200 lumens, it's definitely bright enough to blind somebody if you shine it in their eye and want to use it in an offensive capability. But whatever technique you want to use, whether or not you're using the index technique where you're indexing it, shooting out, or FBI technique or whatever it is, it will fit that role well. But we'll do a little bit more shooting here, then get into it at night, compare it to a few other flashlights, and then just get into what I think of it overall. But for now, we'll see how it'll work. This isn't my technique, but I know a lot of you guys like it. We're going to go ahead here and test and see how well this light illuminates the target in a shooting scenario. So we're going to be holding it there with our offhand and looking over the sights here. Again, this is not a method I practice very well with, honestly, so I can't predict a lot of hits. But for those of you that do, you'll probably be a little bit better at this than I will, but I just want to show you what it looks like. There you go. You can see it definitely illuminates the threat just fine. We're on a distance of about 15 meters out here shooting. It's almost dark and very little ambient light. Definitely does a good job of lighting up that threat. I'm going to go ahead and step outside and do a comparison with a couple lights that are already out there on the market. The lights we'll be using, obviously, are the Inforce 6VX. Other than that, we'll be using the Surefire Z2-S combat light. This is the 200 lumen model. And just kind of as a control for all my light tests, I use the Maglite Double D. This one here is the 104 lumen factory LED light. The reason I use that is for a lot of guys who are just kind of stumbling upon this video. They have no idea really how bright these tack lights are with the Cree LED technology in there. So we're going to go ahead and use the old standard just to show just how much more powerful these newer lights are. That shed that you see right in front of you there is about 30 meters away. And this is being illuminated by the Maglite LED that you saw earlier in the video. And up next to that, there you can see the Inforce. See how much brighter it really is. Not just the hot spot, but the peripheral cone, much brighter, lighting up the surrounding area. So if you wanted to do a search or something like that, definitely a good bit brighter. Again, Maglite, Inforce. And even on the low setting, you can see here that Inforce is pretty much as bright as that Maglite Double D, if not actually even a little bit brighter. So it's definitely outclassing it, if you will, in terms of the light technology that we have these days. There you see the Surefire illuminating the same area that you just saw previously. Definitely does a good job about it, no doubt about it. I like this light a lot, good light. And there's the Inforce. Let me let that zoom in there, clear up, it did. There's the Inforce on the right, Surefire on the left. You can see the Inforce is definitely a little bit whiter, a little bit hotter, if you will. Just taking a look as I'm looking at it, just as you are. The peripheral cone on the Inforce a little bit smaller, but it's definitely brighter, so that light's a little more focused. So not quite as wide of a search area as a Surefire, but it's definitely brighter within the actual search area itself. Let that camera focus in there. Come on, camera. There you go. So Inforce again, Surefire on the left. Pretty comparable. Honestly, I'd give the illumination edge to the Inforce. Now that you guys have seen how it stacks up outside, just go over a few of the basic specs of it. Basically, it's a 200 lumen light. It has the Cree LED output on high. This is the 200 lumens I was just mentioning. When you go ahead and switch it to low, it's 40 lumens. And when you run it in strobe mode, it is the 200 lumen high output. The runtime for those in high is going to be 2 hours. At the low setting, it's going to be 10 hours you're going to get out of it. The weight of this thing is going to be only 3.3 ounces when loaded, which is huge. If you take a look at my other light reviews, or for instance the Surefire that we were just using there in the review, that one with the two batteries is going to come in at 4.8 ounces, for example, and this one's coming in at 1.5 ounces later, and as you just saw, equal output, if not a little bit better. So definitely doing a good job in terms of what you get for the weight that you're sacrificing with this light in terms of everyday carry, or if you're going to mount it up on the end of a rifle. So those are just the basic stats right there. Let's get into operation real quick. To operate it, if you click on the tail cap once, you're going to go into high mode. That's as it comes from the factory. Then you go ahead and click it to twice, it goes into low mode. Again, that 40 lumens. And if you go ahead at any point and click it twice very fast, there you go, you're going to get that strobe mode. Now the strobe can be disabled, and it can also be programmed at the user level, so that way it'll come in with the first click being low and the second click being high. But as it comes from the factory, it's high, low, and then 2 clicks for strobe. The bezel diameter here, so you guys can see that, is 1 inch all the way around. It does have the heat sinks up front. That's one of the reasons it's able to be able to sacrifice so much weight, I guess you could say, or not sacrifice so much weight, but pick up the advantage of having not a lot of weight with the carbon fiber body. The heat sinks up front allow it to run cool, so that way it's getting air into the LED light there while it's running, and allows it to run cool without having to use aluminum or something like that for reinforcement that a lot of other lights are using there. The light is also waterproof, so up next we're going to put it to a little bit of a test. Supposedly it's waterproof to 20 meters, and I don't have a 20-meter pool. We'll go ahead and throw it in some water and see how it does. We'll go ahead and turn the light on here. Turn it on high. Drop it in there. You can see no issues whatsoever. It seems to hold up to its waterproof claims. So it certainly passed that test just fine. No issues there. I shook it around a little bit after the camera was off, and kept running just fine. So no issues with the water test. Held up just fine. The light can be locked out, if you will, so that way you don't accidentally turn it on like all Inforce models are. So to do that, you just turn the rear of the tail cap, and then you push it, and nothing's going to happen. It's not going to come on. And if you want it to go back on, you just turn it back down, push, and you're back. Good to go, back in business. So that's kind of an advantage there. The one, I guess, bad thing I'm going to say about this light, or negative if you will, is going to be this clip, a pocket clip there. It is stainless steel, which is good. I like that aspect of it. But the part that I don't like about it is how it sits. When you go ahead and if you want to put this in your pocket, about 1/3 of the light, as you can see here, is going to be exposed outside your pocket. So I have been carrying this light a good bit, just because of the weight. Really, I really like it, and I like the output as well. But I've been carrying it, and when I carry it, I just drop the whole thing in my pocket and don't even use the clip, because I don't like the way it kind of awkwardly pokes out. So if I was going to change one thing about the light, that would definitely be it. I would move this clip either to the back or up here near the front, towards the front, excuse me. Reality, I'd put it towards the back. That's what I would do with it. Inforce, if you're listening, that's my suggestion. So that's really going to be the only negative, though, that you're going to hear me say throughout the review. But all in all, pretty good light. Throughout the review, I've been focusing on this as a everyday carry kind of light, but it's important to note, particularly with my audience, that this can be used as a weapon mounted light. It's compatible with just about every 1-inch light mount out there, and Inforce also makes a proprietary light, quick detach light mount for this, which is out there on the market. I don't have one though, therefore you didn't see it throughout the review, but it is out there and available for purchase. So if you guys want to use that on a rifle, you can. A note on that, the tail cap does have the springs in there for it to absorb recoil and not have the bumping, flashing issues with the recoil that a lot of lights out there will have. So it is weapon mountable. I just wanted to point that out before I get on with it. Get on with the wrap up, I should say. All in all, great light. It's a US made light, which I know is important to a lot of people, and even though it's US made, they're still bringing it to market at a pretty good price. All the major retailers out there, like Brownells, Optics Planet, Midway USA, pretty much any of the big ones, they're going to have this light available for under $90. And as you saw out there, compared to the other lights that I was comparing it to with the Surefire, and especially the Maglite, you're getting a lot of light for the money, no doubt about it. It performs well, it's lightweight, controls are instinctive. I really like it. I've tested, I believe this is the 3rd Inforce light I believe I've tested here on the channel, and I've been impressed with every one. I don't know what else to say. I think they're going to continue to make inroads versus the Streamlight and Surefire market share. They're doing a good job of putting on good lights. And eventually, word will spread, which I guess is what this video is about. But as always, guys, if you have any questions about the light here that I missed in the video, or anything else, feel free to post in the comment section below. You can also go ahead and post over at my Facebook page. And as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate it. And look forward to seeing you in the next video, guys.